The last hum you will ever hear in the modern world is the rhythmic cycling of your refrigerator compressor, and when that silence finally descends, it isn't just an inconvenience, it is a countdown to a biological and structural collapse that 99% of the population is fundamentally unequipped to survive. You are currently sitting in a world governed by just-in-time logistics, where your local grocery store does not stock food, but merely displays a 72-hour window of inventory that evaporates the moment the resupply trucks stop rolling. In this immediate post-grid environment, the human auditory system, conditioned by a century of artificial white noise, enters a state of auditory hypervigilance, where every settling floorboard or distant crunch of gravel sounds like a breach of your perimeter. Your brain, stripped of its digital lobotomy, no GPS, no cloud storage, no weather forecasts, shrinks the world to what you can see from your rooftop. And in that shrunken world, the laws of physics and chemistry become the only currency that matters. While the tactical community argues over $800 knives in camouflage patterns, the military has quietly spent 50 years relying on a single substance that fits in a small bottle, costs less than $10, and performs 5 distinct survival functions that no other item on the planet can match. This is the purple Swiss Army knife of the apocalypse, Potassium Permanganate, or KMNO4, a dark purple crystal that the DEA tracks in bulk, not because it is illegal, but because it is too powerful for a dependent civilian population to truly understand. The immediate danger of a permanent blackout is not violence, but the invisible water clock that starts ticking the second municipal pumps lose power. Most cities rely on gravity-fed steel tanks on hills that provide roughly 96 hours of pressure before the pipes become stagnant playgrounds for E. coli, Giardia, and Cryptosporidium. The average person, focused on prepper gear reviews, ignores the fact that their body is 60% water and 0% forgiving. By day 3 of dehydration, kidneys fail. Blood thickens into sludge, and the brain begins to swell against the skull. Many people believe a high-end survival straw will save them, but these expensive filters are often $100 paperweights the moment your water source looks like chocolate milk or a dissolved dirt road. The scientific reality is that pathogens can hide inside clumps of sediment, surviving the very temperatures that should kill them. This is where the first function of the purple crystals changes the math of survival. Potassium permanganate is a powerful oxidizing agent that literally rips electrons from the cell walls of bacteria and viruses in a process of molecular violence that leaves nothing but sterile water behind. The genius of the chemistry lies in its built-in indicator. You add the crystals until the water turns a light pink, and when that color shifts back to clear, the treatment is complete. No test strips or lab equipment required. The broader analysis of survival gear reveals a catastrophic misunderstanding of what makes a tool essential, a trap the survival industry calls planned obsolescence wrapped in tactical nylon. Most people pack for a camping trip when they should be packing for a collapse, failing to realize that if an item only does one job, it is a liability you cannot afford to carry. The military redundancy rule dictates that an item doing 7 things acceptably is worth its weight in gold, while a specialized tool that does one thing perfectly is a luxury from a world that no longer exists. This leads to the multiplier rule, where every ounce in your pack must justify its existence through at least 3 critical capabilities. Potassium permanganate satisfies this rule more thoroughly than any other compound, transitioning from a water purifier to a spontaneous fire starter when mixed with regular vegetable glycerin, something sitting in your medicine cabinet right now for $3. This is not a party trick. It is an exothermic reaction taught by the military's SERE program for survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. When your fingers are frozen, your matches are soaked, and your butane lighter refuses to vaporize at high altitudes, the chemical contact between these purple crystals and glycerin produces thick smoke, followed by an intense flame that works in conditions designed to prevent fire. Hidden science dictates that the ability to start a fire is not just about heat for cooking, but about managing the 90-minute countdown that begins the moment your core temperature drops in cold, wet conditions. Hypothermia kills faster than hunger, yet 92% of American drivers are currently operating rolling coffins because they have zero emergency thermal kits in their vehicles. A modern home, when the grid fails, becomes a thermal icebox because insulation works in both directions. Once the house reaches equilibrium with the outside cold, that same expensive insulation traps the cold inside, effectively turning your living room into a refrigerator. Evidence from the National Institutes of Health shows that cold kills 13.5 times more Americans than heat, and yet the tactical bros would rather buy another rifle than understand the thermodynamics of a microclimate. Survival implications suggest that the person who can produce fire chemical on chemical without matches or lighters has a monopoly on morale and core temperature management. This chemical ignition is the second edge of the purple knife, allowing you to bypass the friction-based methods that fail 95% of the population when stress levels are high and fine motor skills evaporate. As the collapse escalates, the third function of potassium permanganate addresses the medicine cliff, the era where people begin to die again from infected paper cuts and rusty nails. Modern medical infrastructure is a miracle that disappears the moment the diesel generators for hospitals run dry after 96 hours. In a grid-down scenario, germ theory becomes a luxury belief system because without the ability to maintain sterile fields, every surgery and minor wound becomes potentially fatal. The purple crystals, diluted to a light pink solution, serve as a medical-grade wound antiseptic used by military medics since World War I to treat infected cuts, abrasions, and blisters. Furthermore, its fourth function as an antifungal agent is critical. In a survival situation where your feet are wet for 4 days, athlete's foot isn't an annoyance, it's a mobility killer that renders every other piece of gear in your kit irrelevant. The WHO lists this substance as an essential medicine because it treats the boring, preventable deaths that actually fill graves during a collapse. By mastering the dilution math of this one bottle, you effectively become the closest thing to a pharmacist in a world where pharmacies were ransacked in the first 6 hours of chaos. The fifth and perhaps most cinematic function of these purple crystals addresses a survival reality that most preppers ignore until it is too late: the signal-to-void ratio in search and rescue operations. In a grid-down environment, your $600 satellite communicator is a paperweight the moment the ground station uplinks lose power or the subscription server goes dark, leaving you as a single, invisible pixel in a landscape of chaos. The human eye, particularly when viewed from the altitude of a search and rescue aircraft, is notoriously poor at identifying static human shapes against natural terrain. However, the purple Swiss Army knife exploits the physics of high-contrast visual signaling in a way that no electronic device can mirror. By scattering potassium permanganate crystals directly onto snow or ice, you create a vivid, unmistakable purple stain that is visible from thousands of feet in the air. It is arguably the only chemical signal marker that works with 100% reliability in sub-zero, high-albedo environments. If you're near a water source, dissolving the crystals into a stream creates a bright purple plume that can be tracked for hundreds of yards downstream. In the brutal calculus of a rescue mission, the difference between being a recovered survivor and a missing person statistic is often a single high-contrast visual cue that tells a pilot exactly where to land. This leads to a deeper analysis of why this substance is forbidden, or more accurately, why it is being quietly regulated out of the reach of the average consumer. While it is perfectly legal to own, the DEA classifies potassium permanganate as a List I controlled chemical. This isn't because the government is afraid you will purify your well water. It is because the same powerful oxidizing properties that kill bacteria also make it a critical reagent in the international processing of cocaine. Consequently, bulk purchases trigger automatic reporting requirements, and because retailers hate the liability and the paperwork associated with controlled substances, they are quietly pulling it from their shelves. What used to be a staple in every hardware store and pharmacy is now relegated to niche aquarium supply shops, where it is sold as a fish treatment, or obscure chemical warehouses that charge exorbitant shipping fees because of its Department of Transportation classification as a strong oxidizer. We are witnessing the regulatory evaporation of traditional knowledge, where the items our grandparents kept under the sink are being replaced by high-margin, single-use products that keep you tethered to a failing supply chain. The misunderstanding of the survival market is that expensive equals effective, but the military redundancy rule proves otherwise. The U.S. Army doesn't build its survival kits around the best gear. It builds them around the most versatile gear. A $100 survival knife does one thing, but a $15 bottle of potassium permanganate satisfies 5 distinct survival requirements: water purification, fire starting, wound disinfection, antifungal treatment, and emergency signaling. This is the 90-10 rule of logistics. 90% of your survival will come from 10% of your gear, and it is almost never the 10% you spent the most money on. The evidence for this is found in the SEER curriculum, where soldiers are taught to bypass high-tech filters that clog with sediment, and instead rely on the chemical violence of KMNO4. When your water source looks like chocolate milk because of flood runoff, a standard $20 filter will die in 30 seconds. To survive this, you must understand the team dynamic of chemistry. You use alum, potassium aluminum sulfate, to trigger flocculation, causing the mud to clump and sink to the bottom. And then you use the purple crystals to oxidize the remaining microscopic pathogens.
The survival implications of this chemical team are staggering. For less than $15, you can possess a complete field water treatment system that can process hundreds of gallons of contaminated water, outperforming commercial filters that cost 10 times as much and weigh 5 times more. Yet, as the collapse escalates, these inorganic lifelines are vanishing. The knowledge gap between the current generation and their grandparents isn't about intelligence, it's about dependency. Your grandparents didn't think about prepping because disruptions were a normal part of the 20th century experience. They understood that when the store shelves empty, you don't need a YouTube sponsorship code. You need the unglamorous, old-fashioned items that don't trend on Instagram. The purple Swiss Army knife represents the pinnacle of this lost logic. A substance that is stable indefinitely, weighs almost nothing, and functions as a pharmacy, a matchbox, and a lighthouse all in one bottle.
We are moving toward a period where these items will be barter gold, not because they're rare in nature, but because the physical infrastructure to buy them is being demolished. Just as gas stations are ripping out K1 kerosene pumps because the market decided kerosene is obsolete, retailers are clearing the dusty back shelves of the hardware stores where these crystals once sat. This is a death spiral of preparedness, where fewer buyers lead to fewer sellers, and suddenly a critical survival technology is gone from the civilian world forever. When the lights finally go out and the just-in-time trucks stop rolling, you will realize that the most valuable thing you own isn't the tactical backpack you bought on Amazon. It is the small bottle of purple crystals that the DEA didn't want you to have, and the knowledge of how to use it that the survival industry didn't want you to learn.